Hello, everyone. Let's talk for episode 287. I have no idea what's the time zone. What's like 5 hour difference, but we are 24 hours removed off of Friday Night SmackDown. Monday was a long time ago, so I don't know how many hours ago that was. There's a Rev Pro show going on right now, so shout out Rev Pro. And we are about screw it. I'm going to say 24 hours. We are 24 hours away from one of the biggest shows in wrestling here on Top of the Globe. We have talked about the biggest show in Japan. We have talked about the biggest show in WWE. We now talk about an elite event. We talk about where you put it all on the line. We talk about All In. And you guys already know, when there is wrestling, when there is a podcast, there is Talk for Glory. So, introduction is always a must. I'm Enigma before, here to bring you guys AEW All In predictions. Also, just letting you know that we will be doing All In review, I think, but I do also want to let you know that Smoove and Young Tachi, they've been busy with work, so those guys are always a part of Talk for Glory, so just a heads up for that. But guys, are you guys ready for All In? The show that first started as a bet? Honestly, I am excited for All In. I am so excited. Because there's so many matches. Matches like for the Trios Championship, it's Hangman Adam Page, because he can't challenge for the world title anymore, and Tag Team Brodito, Brody King, and ROH Champion Bandito versus the entire Trios division. So I don't know how many trios there are in here. I know there's the Bang Bang Gang. I know there's the band. I know, what the hell is Jay Lethal's group called? And then Swerve and allegedly the New Day. I know this is going to be on the pre-show, but realistically, it's probably going to bleed over into the main show. AEW's kind of been doing that. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys like the pre-show going into the main show? Honestly, I think AEW can do it one more time, and then I'll finally get a true opinion on it, because I thought it was funny at first. I forgot what match it was. I think it was FTR versus Jet Speed, or it was something else. It was something involving FTR. And then there was one where it was Hechizero, Okada, and Takeshita versus Mystico and his tag partners. And Okada made it just on time for the main card because, Rainmaker don't pre-show, I guess. It's pointless having a pre-show if this is a constant. Honestly, maybe it's pointless calling it a pre-show, because if you're just going to go pre-show in the main show, you may as well just say, hey, this is the main card. But yeah, so if New Day debut quote unquote on pre-show in the main show, not the biggest fan of that. If anything, I don't mind the idea of AR Fox and someone else teaming with Swerve, and just have New Day debut on a Dynamite or something. You had Motor City Machine Guns debut on a Collision, which I liked it. I liked that they debuted on a Collision in Detroit. But yeah, just have New Day debut on a Dynamite, I guess, or All Out. Maybe All Out would be cool. But as for all the tag teams that are in this, whether it be the Demand, whether it be Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, I forgot the other guy, the Bang Bang Gang. Hell, I want to say throw in the Rascals in there. I think they would be a great trios in this giant trios gauntlet battle royal, whatever the hell this thing is supposed to be. I've been saying for the long time that the Rascals should win the trios titles. And if not the trios titles, hey, have them win the Never Six-Man tag titles in Japan. That would be fun. But of all these trios, I gotta choose someone, and I'm gonna choose the Bang Bang Gang. I got Jay White, Colton Gunn, Austin Gunn, the Guns, Bang Bang Gang, Bullet Club Gold, whatever the hell their names are supposed to be. I got them winning the trios tag titles and becoming a 2-time trios champions. Next is for the TNT Championship. It's the Jet Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin in a Falls Count Anywhere's match. So Darby's gonna choose somewhere to jump off of, and someone's gonna meme it and put, "Hi, I'm Darby Allin. This is Jackass." I know AEW is gonna be going to Paris, and I love how one of the first tweets I saw after that announcement was, "Can't wait till Darby jumps off the Eiffel Tower." And yeah, he's probably gonna do that. But Kevin Knight versus Darby in a Falls Count Anywhere, as much as we talk about Darby being a human crash course dummy, the Jet can fly. The Jet got hops. So don't just worry about Darby jumping off of somewhere. Worry about the Jet. Worry about a coast to coast from one side of the arena to the other. Also, I'm just going to say this now because I don't think Toxic Glare has been able to touch up on this, but I hate Kevin Knight in the Don Callis family. He should have been paired up with Swerve. Like, Swerve can go for the main title, and then you could have Kevin Knight right in the mid card, and then they could find a third and be like, all right, man, like, you can try to go after the Continental or the International. And then somewhere down the line, then they're like, all right, now let's go after trios. We've been dominant individuals, but now let's together do business. When it comes to Darby versus Kevin Knight as well, I think that no one talks about like the chemistry that both of them had in the Continental Cup or Continental Classic. Just because when you think of Darby Allin and Kevin Knight as individuals, you think of like a couple other wrestlers. And honestly, they're two people that have underrated chemistry. Where do I think they go after this? Well, Darby Allin's probably going to go to the hospital because he's 9 out of 10 chance going to have something broken. And Kevin Knight is going to continue on to be a dominant TNT champion, as I think Kevin Knight will end up dropping the TNT championship to Speedball Mike Bailey. But what are your predictions for the Jet? How far does Kevin Knight's career take him? Is he mid-carder? Is he a future world champion? How high can the Jet soar? Now, time for our next match. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did say Kevin Knight does retain here. Right, now next for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. It is Divine Dominion, Lena Cross, and the Megasis Megan Bayne versus the Brawling Birds. The NJPW Strong Women's Champion, yes, guys, I'm sure some of us forgot, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. This is a confusing match. Like, not as in, like, it doesn't make sense or anything to me, but more in the case of, like, all of these women are probably better single. Like, this is probably a better singles match across the board. I would much rather watch Megan Bayne versus Jamie Hayter and Lena Cross versus Alex Windsor. So, as a tag match, I'm like, meh about it. Like, I like the women's tag titles. I think Divine Dominion have been, like, the best thing going. Their match against the Sisters of Sin was awesome. Even against Ty Mello and Anna Jay was fun. High-End and Maya World, great stuff. But I do think this is where it ends. And if you ask me, there's probably a good chance that Megan Bayne does like Goddess Tag League right after this. Because Megan Bayne has goddamn Sky Miles. Not once have I had to ask myself, where the hell is Megan Bayne? She's either in AEW or she's in Stardom. Lena Cross, on the other hand, might be an underrated take, but I think Lena Cross can be TBS champion. So if you ever run Lena Cross versus Maya World, just know I pitched it first. Not first, but, here on Talk for Glory. But in this tag match, I'm gonna say I got the Brawling Birds, as they've got the speed and they've got the power. And honestly, even though Divine Dominion have the size, I think Brawling Birds might have the better chemistry. As Divine Dominion don't really have like tag moves per se. They just have like, all right, I'll match your power with my power, while Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor are just like, we're best buddies in and out the ring. So I got your back, you got my back. I'll hit them, you go high, I go low. So maybe the Brawling Birds have the better chance. And that's why I believe they're winning the tag titles. But where does Divine Dominion go after this? Again, Lena Cross goes for the TBS title, and Megan Bayne does a tournament in Japan, maybe. Hell, who knows? Maybe Divine Dominion grabs a third, and they go challenge Triangle of Madness for the Artists of Stardom championships. Because who wants to bounce back on Dream Shrine, I guess. But that's the tag titles. Next is for the AEW International Championship. It is the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, a former international champion in his own right. It is the former international champion, Konosuke Takeshita, Z Alpha, the GOAT. He represents DDT. He represents New Japan Pro. He represents AEW. He represents his wife. But most importantly, here on Talk for Glory, when we talk about the Alpha, we are also talking about the Talk for Glory 2025 Superstar of the Year, Z Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. And defending champion. Wait a minute, because I'm talking about him, the colors do have to change. The proto star, maybe Don Callis' favorite son, Kyle Fletcher. This match is going to bang. This match might be match of the year. This match has potential to be match of the year. This match will be talked about through generations. You don't go wrong with Okada. You don't go wrong with Takeshita. You don't go wrong with Fletcher. There's so many ways that I think Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita, and Okada will make magic in that ring. Because I already said to multiple people in person and online that Takeshita versus Okada would be heat. It would be magic. It would slam. And God damn it, at Double or Nothing, it did. And Takeshita versus Fletcher was awesome. Hell, Kyle Fletcher versus Okada in the C2 was always awesome. So when you put these three in the same ring for one championship, the goal is clear. The goal isn't family. The goal is the Alpha. The Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, will win back the international championship. And he'll go on an international tour as he'll defend it in AEW, and then he'll defend it in DDT, and then he'll defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hell, he might defend it in TJPW. So yes, guys, I do have Konosuke Takeshita winning this. Next is the AEW World Title number one contenders, Casino Gauntlet. Okay, so it would be too easy to just say MJF is winning this. So I want to be wrong and say Andrade wins this. And if you ask me how you know, you never doubt the real Latino man. Oh, so can we just talk about the greatness that is Andrade El Idolo? My man's went from trapped and divorced to, well, I can't say that part online. Trapped and divorced to successful and happy. Yeah, that works. But long live El Idolo. All right, that was the easiest match to cover. Next is for the AEW Continental Championship. It is Jon Moxley versus Nigel McGuinness. And what I like to say, Nigel McGuinness's goodbye to wrestling, as I think this is his last match. I don't know if he was supposed to lose to Lee Moriarty and just like never touch ROH soil again, but if this is Nigel McGuinness' last match and he commits to the table, he commits to commentary, what a way to go in Wembley Stadium in front of your countrymen. I can't tell you how fun of a reign it's been for Jon Moxley as Continental Champion. No Death Rider shenanigans, all graps. Like, he's just been a true workhorse. Who knows? Maybe Jon Moxley is in high contention for Top for Glory Superstar of the Year, or as you guys had seen that we had Tommy from Bad Takes Better Conversation for the G1 predictions. Maybe over there on their side, on their show, on their podcast, he's BTBC Wrestler of the Year. You know, a lot of talks for Wrestler of the Year are starting to roll around as September is knocking on the door, and it's Game 4, not Game 4. It's the fourth quarter, Game 6 or Game 7, and a lot of people are trying to clutch that last second and becoming maybe your favorite podcast, which is obviously Top for Glory. It's your favorite, your mother's favorite, your girl's favorite podcast. And maybe they're trying to clutch the Superstar of the Year. And who knows, maybe it is Jon Moxley. But back to this match. Nigel McGuinness is going to come into this match, and by God, he'll give it his all. As Jon Moxley is damn near going to make him work for it. But Nigel is a top name, I think, just misses out when it comes to one of the best technical wrestlers. He doesn't get put up in the same conversations as Bryan Danielson. He doesn't get put in the topic like Zack Sabre Jr. Hell, I'll even say I don't think that Nigel McGuinness gets talked in the same way as someone like Gunther. Maybe someone as like Pete Dunne. But Nigel is going to give it his soul, and he will leave it in Wembley. But will he get choked out? I don't know. As this is Continental rules, I don't know how far this goes. I don't know how much is Nigel willing to give. If you ask me, maybe, just maybe, Nigel can walk out of Wembley with the Continental Championship. If he wasn't facing Jon Moxley in 3. All right, now time to talk about the Tag Team Championships. In a match that only sounds like it can happen in WWE 2K, this is definitely some My Universe mode bullshit. If you would have told me 15 years ago that Max Buck, Jeremy Buck, Generation Me was going to face Edge and Christian, I would have said, no, the hell they're not. Edge and Christian are in WWE. The Generation Me are in TNA. And then if you'd have told me 5 years after that, hey, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, those guys are going to face Edge and Christian, I would have said, no, they're not. Edge is never leaving WWE. Christian might go to TNA, but those are two different eras. And then if you would have told me in the beginning of AEW, hey, in 2026, we are going to get Young Bucks versus Edge and Christian, I would have told you, no, the hell we're not. Christian's retired, and Edge is also retired. Even if you would have told me when Edge debuted in AEW, hey, we're going to get Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks, I would have said, that sounds like some bullshit. We're never getting that match. But here we are in 2026 in Wembley Stadium at All In. Young Bucks versus Edge and Christian. Also, if you guys try to correct me and say it's Adam Copeland, go fuck yourself. Sadly, I don't got the clip of Christian saying it. But yeah, no, it's Edge today, tomorrow, so on and so forth. But yeah, Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It's crazy to say that in their line of work, the Young Bucks have faced tag teams like the Hardys. I think they have faced Team 3D, the Motor City Machine Guns, Evil and Sonata, Gorillas of Destiny, FTR. Wow, Edge and Christian have faced tag teams again, similar, like the Hardys, like Team 3D, like goddamn, I was about to say Chris Jericho and someone else. But all of the tag team experience combined by these two teams, it's generational. Damn it, I might have to say this might be tag team match of the year. And I already think Edge and Christian have a tag team match of the year candidate already. If there's one thing Edge and Christian have taught me, it's that they still got it, but for how long? As you guys already know, here on Talk for Glory, I have already said for the Hardys, and I'll say it for Edge and Christian, when they lose those tag team titles, they will grab their stuff, pack it all up, and ride off into the sunset. So, who knows? Maybe that's the case. And actually, how do you guys feel about that? What if when Edge and Christian won these tag titles, they had put the stipulation, when we lose these belts, we will retire. So maybe we will see the retirement of Edge and Christian. Maybe, maybe not. But this match is going to absolutely bang. I know that this is one of the matches that young Tachi was looking forward to. And honestly, now that I'm talking about it, now that I've amped myself up, I am absolutely looking forward to this as well. And now, the real question is, there are winners and there are losers. So who is losing? Who is winning? Who will be the AEW World Tag Team Champions? And as much as I like Max and Jeremy, Matt and Nick, Nicholas and Matthew, as much as I like every iteration of the Bucks, Edge and Christian, the gas tank's not empty just yet. They've still got a couple miles left. So I think that Edge and Christian will be the ones walking away with the AEW Tag Team Championships. All right, next is the AEW Women's World Championship. It is defending champion Willow Nightingale versus, and I've done it for Takesha, so I've got to do it for this woman. She's won so many championships I goddamn don't know the name of. But what I do know is, on top of all the accolades, this woman is Tough for Glory's 2025 Women's Wrestler of the Year. So now, here we are again. 1 year later, Wembley Stadium, Owen Hart Cup winner, the CEO, former WWE Women's Champion, former IWGP Women's Champion, former TBS Champion, former New Japan Strong Women's Champion. But the one thing she is not is a former or current AEW Women's World Champion. The belt, the likes of Jamie Hayter, Paige, Britt Baker, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. A belt that has somehow, some way, constantly missed the CEO, Mercedes Moné. Honestly, I love the story of Mercedes versus Willow. There is literally nothing, and I truly do mean nothing, that Mercedes hasn't done that hasn't impressed me. And a lot of you guys know that I'm not, well, actually, it's not that I'm not the biggest Mercedes fan. I think she's just the third or fourth best member of the Horsewomen, if you ask me. But that's a different talk for a different day. But we can have that on Talk for Glory on the Discord. Make sure you guys join. But I cannot deny the level of work Mercedes has done. When it comes to women's wrestling, Mercedes Moné does have to be in those talks. But the story of Willow and Mercedes goes from the New Japan Strong Women's Championship to the TBS Championship to now the AEW Women's Championship. The story runs deep. And although Mercedes lost to Willow right before we kicked off the year, I want to say for the better part of her career, Mercedes has had Willow's number. And now the real question is, does Mercedes finally win the big one, as everyone says? And you know what? No, no, she doesn't. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're going to have her lose twice? Yes, yes. Because Mercedes is a already guaranteed legend. When I look at AEW, when I look at the homegrown, when I look at the soil that is AEW, I think of the women's division. I do think of Willow Nightingale. I think of so many people, but Willow leading the charge, hell, maybe even closing out the year as AEW Women's Champion, might be the thing that AEW's women's division needs, rather than a united front against Mercedes. So, your CEO, our top floor women's wrestler of the year, will not get the win, but in return, you will just smile because Willow Nightingale is women's world champion. If you're ever down, just remember you live in a time where Willow is AEW women's champion now, tomorrow, and I'm not going to say forever because we already have one forever champion, but that's a different talk for a different day. Ruckus, I hear you, man, but until I hear that 3 count, it's Willow and 3. But yeah. So that was the AEW Women's Champion. Now we're gonna talk about the AEW World Championship. I'm not saying Men's World Championship. The AEW World Championship, the championship that is all elite. But before I do that, I want to thank everyone that'll be listening to this in the future. Ruckus, thank you for being here. I hope everyone's been enjoying wrestling, whether it be WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, Stardom, Tej, Sendai, whatever wrestling you guys have been watching. But guys, because we're at the main event, there's only one thing to do. Some of you guys already know. It's almost like it's on cue. Before we talk about the main event, you know what to do, and that is to follow the socials. So going up in 3, 2, bam. Remember, guys, to follow Talk for Glory on our socials, whether that be our Twitters, YoungSmoothTFG, Enigma _before_. Remember, guys, add us on Twitch. I'm doing a lot of streaming when it comes to Twitch. Enigma _before_. Smoove A1, XO Young Tachi 98, XO. Add us on Xbox, fuck PS5. And then with before Smoove A1, Young Tachi 98. And remember, guys, join the Talk for Glory Discord. Add me on Instagram, Enigma _V4. And remember, Talk for Glory isn't just here on YouTube, or also on Spotify, or also on Apple Podcasts. I have not uploaded in I don't know how long on Spotify, but there is a Stardom show coming to the world that does need to go to Spotify. So keep that in mind. But hope you guys have been enjoying, because now we're about to hit the main event. Okay, I'm back, and to hit the main event, it is round 3. It is a clash of titans, a battle that started in Japan to a battle that went on into Canada that now we're in Wembley Stadium. It is the aerial assassin, the Commonwealth Kingpin, in my opinion, the new best bout machine, 5-star Billy, a former Talk of Glory superstar of the year. It is not the lyrics to Judas. It is not the woe from Kingdom, but the crowd definitely chants his name. It is Will by God Ospreay, challenging for the AEW World Championship, held by the god of professional wrestling, the One Wing Angel, one half of the Golden Lovers. Honestly, this might be his last run, but Kenny by God Omega. And thank God I watched a little Rev Pro before this predictions live, because Mr. Will Ospreay will have the Prince of Pace make way, the Prince, the leader of the United Empire, Callum Newman, in his corner. And this match is already going to bang. This match is going to be something special. But hear me when I say this. I don't care about the issues between Callum and Will tomorrow. That match, whether it go 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, let it be clean, let it be pure, as I need a legit winner. No Dawn, no Empire, just Ospreay, Omega 3. We've gone from Japan to Canada to London. I'm sure if we somehow get this match in Mexico or Paris, it'll fit a song. But this match is a match I've been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to round 3 since Will Ospreay became All Elite. I didn't care what the paths may be. All I knew was, one way or another, we're getting Ospreay Omega 3. And god damn it, I couldn't be more excited for it. Will, who has been ducking the AEW World Championship for God knows how long. Kenny, who has been on this, if this is my last ride, god damn it, I'm going to give it my all. From beating MJF on Kenny's side to Will winning the Owen. I don't know what else I can say, because when it comes to Kenny Omega as the final boss during any World Championship run, I think that AEW is very careful when it comes to who's going to be the one to beat him. As his first AEW World Championship run, I can't put into words how perfect it was that Hangman beat him. And as for Ospreay, there's only one question I got to ask you guys. On the grandest stage, in the most important match, do you guys think Will Ospreay will kick out of the One Wing Angel? Will Ospreay be the second man to kick out of the One Wing Angel, with Kota Ibushi being the first? Now, as for Callum, some of you guys are like, dude, he's going to interfere. I hear you. I do. But I am going to assume that when Callum was facing Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Will Ospreay did not interfere, all he wanted him to do was to win the match clean. And that's what he did. Will Ospreay was there. He put the belt around his waist. They threw up the crowns. I am hoping that by the end of All In, the United Empire stands on top. What Kenny Omega has done for wrestling will be talked about in the history books. But after All In, after Wembley Stadium, probably not, but wouldn't surprise me if he did. What Kenny Omega has done for wrestling will be talked about through our generations. But after Wembley Stadium, I genuinely believe that not only will we be in a renaissance of elite wrestling, we will be in a new era. That era is run by the Empire, whether it be in London or Japan or America. I believe that we will be entering the Billy Goat era. So, with all that being said, yes, I do have Will Ospreay winning and becoming the AEW World Champion, as I'm pretty sure this is only his second attempt at the world title, because he faced Swerve at Forbidden Door. But if I have to say something negative about this, I'll be honest. Callum Newman might join Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis in the long line of people that have backdoored Will Ospreay. Honestly, please don't. Please don't. Callum, don't have a screwdriver in your hand, please. Not on this match. If you want to beat him up and take his Never Six-Man tag title, cool. Oh, so by the way, in case you guys forgot, yes, Will Ospreay is 1/3 of the Never Six-Man tag champs. Ospreay, please come out with the belt. But yeah, Callum, please don't backdoor him. Just don't. But guys, that was everything. That was AEW All In Predictions 2026. I hope you guys are looking forward to Wembley. I hope you guys enjoyed Ref Prague. Hope you guys enjoyed SmackDown. I hope you guys enjoyed AEW. What's your favorite match you guys are looking forward to? Are we going to have nothing but new champions? Are we going to have all amazing graps? Have you guys enjoyed this podcast? Hope you guys look forward to the review. Hopefully, Smoove and Young Tachi will be here as well, as we always have fun talks over the phone and through text. So I would love for you guys to also hear those great fun talks here on Talk for Glory. But for now, I hope you guys stay safe. Have a great day and or night, because time zones are weird and confusing, especially tomorrow. Check me out on any of the socials, or maybe I'll be on other podcasts. Maybe I'll be on a friend's show doing a quiz. But again, stay safe. Have a great day and or night. Don't stalk wrestlings. Support your favorite wrestlers, not your favorite promotions. But most importantly, enjoy wrestling, guys. Hope you enjoy All In.